In this video, I'll show you how to make a custom entity detector without using Regex. So most DLP systems rely on Regex to create custom detectors. We know this. Regex can match patterns, but the problem is it can't understand context, which means security teams often spend time tuning expressions and chasing false positives. Well, that's exactly why we built a prompt-based entity detector. And let me show you what that looks like. So to create one, we go to the Nightfall console, click Detection, then Detectors, and then Custom Detector, Entity Detector Prompt Based. So we select that menu item, and there we're taken to our Entity Type Detector Designer. Make that a little bit bigger. Before we dig in, I want to show you what we're looking for so we know how to design it. This is a real-world example where a customer wants to track prescription numbers, and I have one in a text file, one in a PDF, and one in an Excel spreadsheet. We also know that this customer has other things that may look like prescription numbers. In this case, a purchase order number may randomly look like a prescription number. So I've included this just in their example. So if I go back to build this detector, first thing I want to name it. Next, I want to describe it for the LLM and this prompt. I start off by just saying what we're looking for and the context in which it might exist. So healthcare workflows around patient care, patient billing, and health insurance. Great. Next, I describe the pattern itself. And you can see here it's got this interesting twist where it has a 4-digit year in the middle of it, and it can't be older than 2020. Also, this pattern can be case insensitive. And then lastly, provide some keywords. Great. So we've completely described this, or we've taken an attempt at that. Now, next we want to give the LLM some examples to learn from or to check against, and some both positive and negative examples. Negative examples are really critical. As I showed earlier, we know that those are in our data set, so we want to avoid those. Before we can create our detector, we want to test it. And so this is a hygiene check that asks the LLM, with the information we provided above, are you 75% confident or higher that you can classify this accurately? And it's returned back and say, yes, you've passed the hygiene check, and it gives us some information. And here you can see it's picked up this purchase order number as a negative keyword. Great. So I'm going to create this detector. I will add it to a Slack policy. I've done that already. Next, let's see it in action. So those same 4 files that I showed you before, I'm going to drag and drop and share them in a public channel in Slack. Hit send. So they're being uploaded. Once they're uploaded, I'm going to go back into Nightfall and into our detection response field. And they should be showing up here. 1, new violation, 3, 4. Okay, so we picked up information about all 4. Let's check those out. So starting a few seconds ago, the first one that came in was the PDF. Great, and there's our prescription number. Second one that came in was the text file, and there's our prescription number. Third one that came in was the negative sample. So I had another classifier turned on, our invoice file classifier, just to show that it did get scanned, but there's no prescription number here. Great, that's what we expected. And then finally, the Excel file. So here is our column of prescription numbers. So great. In that example, in just a few minutes, we built a custom detector without Regex, one that recognized context, not just patterns, and it eliminated that false positive using the negative example, and it detected really, really quickly in Slack. So that's the prompt-based detection, and that's how teams protect business-specific sensitive data without weeks of tuning.